We're live.
And we are live. What's going on, guys? This is Kevin the Tech Ninja. We are here with Ryan O'Neill, and this is Tech Talk and BS. And today we have a very special guest, as always. But today, this is a man that needs little introduction. We have Mr. MKBHD, Marques Brownlee himself. What's going on, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
What's
Yeah,
up, bro?
man. Yeah, man. No problem. As always, what we do, we allow our guests like the floor. You're allowed to say whatever you want. The first 30 seconds, talk about your channel, who you are, and all that good stuff.
Whatever I want. Okay. Let's go with I make tech videos on YouTube. Most of them, so I make videos about what I'm interested in. I kind of assist purchase decisions, I guess, in my reviews. So I review phones, I review tablets, and then I sort of branch out and I talk about TVs and virtual reality and cars and whatever else kind of tech is interesting. And I try to make it look as realistic as possible. That's pretty much it.
Cool, man. You do a pretty darn good job at that. So,
Thank you.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So hey, so you actually just came from practice. So I guess that could probably lead in to one of our next questions. People always ask about like ultimate frisbee, like what is it and all that stuff. So can you give like the Reader's Digest version of like what is ultimate frisbee or whatever?
Ultimate Frisbee is like a combination of like 4 or 5 sports. Like when you think of Frisbee, you usually just think of like throwing in the park with your friend or your dog or whatever. Imagine a competitive, obviously, version of that where you can sort of score in the end zone like football, but you can't travel once you catch the disc. We call it the disc. You can't travel once you catch it. So you can throw it around to anyone running. Once you catch it, you have to stop, like basketball. But then you can also run around and throw to other people, kind of like soccer or lacrosse.
Yeah.
And there's a pull-off each point. It's a really easy to describe once I show you a video of it, so that's kind of like the easiest way to get people into it. If you've seen other
Yeah.
sports, it's easy to understand. But yeah, it's a really fast-growing sport. It kind of reminds me of lacrosse like 10 years ago when I played that. So it's a lot of fun to watch, and I don't know, watch if you're curious at all about Ultimate, just
Yeah.
Google like Ultimate Frisbee highlight reel, and you'll find something that I'm sure will be pretty awesome.
Sweet,
Cool, man. Sounds dope. Is it pretty physically demanding, I would take it? Like, just as hard
Yeah.
as other sports? Football
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff?
not. There's no like tackling like football, but I would equate it to something like soccer, where you have to be an athlete, where you're running all the time. A tournament is like maybe 7 or 8 games. You gotta have lungs and gotta have legs.
Yeah, lungs definitely come in handy. Okay, guys, so it's probably a good start right now to let everybody know if they have any questions. You can ask in the live chat, it's being monitored, and you can also use the hashtag TTBS on Twitter. We always try and get as many questions across as we can, because we really rely on all the viewers to make the show flow as we go along. This week's show is obviously sponsored by Slick Wraps, where you can pick up some awesome skins for your device, and you can find links down below in the description for that. Okay, that's that bit over and done with. So, Marcus, there's absolutely like tons of questions. I've been tweeting all week about the show, and some of the questions we have are so many. The most asked question is, now that you've finished school, and that's all over and done with, you're obviously mentioned that you're going to be doing YouTube full time now, but what plans do you have coming up in the future?
Yeah, I kind of just want to keep slowly building out what I'm doing now. I guess it's I don't know, pretty simple of a plan, but I've done, I think probably more than half of my videos in the last like year have been like smartphone reviews or videos about smartphones, and that can only get so interesting. So I kind of want to branch out into other stuff. Obviously, the frequency of videos can go up too now that I'm not spending like a whole week of hours in class. But I'm not doing anything, I guess, crazy drastic. But I guess the simple answer to that is branching out a little bit, figuring out other new things to cover, and hopefully making it better quality in the same amount of time.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've seen a lot of people who started off in mobile tech sort of branch out to do like different types of technology because the odds are if your fan base likes mobile technology, they like other technology either. I haven't met a person that says, I like phones only and nothing else. So That's kind of cool. Get your hands on new things and think outside the box and try different stuff out. So that's pretty cool, man. And I think you doing full-time YouTube is a really good decision.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't a main question about it. So let's kind of go back to Ultimate Frisbee because I'm actually interested in it. I did check out highlights before when you mentioned it, and it does seem like a pretty interesting sport. How'd you get into that? I mean, was it like an Ultimate Frisbee team in high school or?
Yeah. I went to high school in New Jersey. And that high school, if you look it up, technically invented the sport in 1968.
Oh, wow, man.
So, yes, we did have a competitive high school team. I played on the JV team for my first 2 years, played on the varsity team my second 2 years. I guess I first got into it right before high school with a middle school program and a summer program, and then that's how it started.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'm starting to see like disc golf pop up a lot more. I know obviously it's a different sport, but it's kind of like, the throwing motion of a frisbee or of a disc, and it's kind of one of those sports you don't see too much, but it has a lot of traction behind it. It's like a huge community behind it. So have you ever tried disc golf before?
Yeah, disc golf is pretty interesting. We call it frolf, like frisbee golf, whenever we play. I don't really play like the official version where you use like a certain type of disc.
Yeah.
I use like a regular frisbee and just play around campus with my friends and teammates. So I guess kind of technically I've played a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Cool.
So is Ultimate Frisbee like a worldwide sport? Because in the UK, like you don't really hear much about it. Is it played in other places over the world?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's growing fastest in the United States, but this past summer was the U23 World Championships where U.S. made it to the finals, played against Canada. That's usually what happens. But Germany was really good this year. I want to say, Japan was really good this year. Who else is usually good? There's usually like 2 or 3 other like powerhouse countries that are really good. So Worlds was in London, and as far as I know, it's played all over the world.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's Ultimate Frisbee and like lacrosse or sort. It seems like it's a regional thing, sort of like because as I said, I never heard of it a couple years ago. Like, is that more of like an East Coast West Coast thing, and then the Midwest plays like the 3 core sports, I'll call it, or like do you know how it separates itself?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at college teams and like regionals, it seems like it's kind of like making an arc around the country. San Francisco has been a powerhouse in Ultimate Frisbee for more than a decade. And then East Coast, Boston tends to be powerful. Yeah. In college, though, Florida is usually great, Georgia is usually great, and then like for some reason like Minnesota and Wisconsin are really good, and then California. So yeah, I guess it's kind of like an East Coast West Coast thing, but there's plenty of college in between.
Huh? That's pretty funny. I know our viewers right now are like, why are you talking about Ultimate Frisbee? I want to know when my S3 is getting lollipop.
So, actually, talking about tech, you said you want to try and branch out a little bit onto other kind of areas of technology. We got a good question in about the new Lexus hoverboard. I know you've probably seen that. It looks super dope. What's your thoughts on it, man?
Well, I saw the commercial, the Lexus commercial, and then I saw the Verge video just talking about how it's not the best thing in the world. I always look at these like sort of gimmicky looking forms of transportation. Like you see all these not hoverboards, but like those little mini Segway things people are on now. Yeah, so I look at those too, and I just think, I'm never going to use that. I walk everywhere. I live in a place where the sidewalks are bumpy. Like there's no way I can use this. So it seems kind of neat, but I guess as far as real world application, it only goes about as far as a cool video, which they did really well. But that's all.
I'm sure the price would probably make it ungettable for a load of people, man. So other questions, I suppose.
I have a kind of a good one that sort of came in. Someone from Twitter, Daybot here, Miguel Angel, he wants to know what is the video that you're most proud of, if you have one.
That's a good question.
Usually it's my latest video. I try really hard to make my latest video my best video every time. Past videos, if I look back, like I was really proud of my Moto Droid review, because that's the first review that I ever made that I tried to make it like cinematic and like a pleasure experience to watch, like a really nice video. And I feel like that actually influenced me a lot. And then getting a camera to try to help make videos better quality. I don't know. It feels like that was one of the first videos I was really proud of. But yeah, I feel like every time I look back at like a video from like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh, why did I use that? Why did I color it that way? Everything from a week or more old just looks really old.
Dude, yeah, I think we sort of fall into that pattern. I don't know why. Like I watch my old videos and I sort of just shake my head, like, golly, like what am I doing with myself? It's just like it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But
No,
you're
we
sort
all
of
do
right.
that.
Yeah, but it's sort of right. Like you want to make your next video your best video. But I don't know, for some reason I have a couple videos in my head that I did that's like, wow, that was a good video. Like I can't find anything to complain about. And I just think sometimes, like I don't know about you, man, but when I'm shooting a video, I'll get worried when editing. Like, man, this may not come out that good. And then for some reason you put it all together in a package and you hit play, you actually watch it through the, all the way through the first time. You're like, that was pretty good. It's just, do you ever get worried like when you're shooting a video, like I don't have enough B-roll, I don't have enough footage, or?
A little bit. I think it's helped more because when I was in college, I didn't like script or write anything, so my process was a little messed up. I would just like have an idea for a video. Sometimes it's a review, and I would go out and I would shoot everything just like in a day. Just go shoot everything that has to do with this thing I'm going to talk about. Then I bring it back, import all the footage, and then I record all the audio. So if I didn't get footage of something, it's not going in the video because I forgot it.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I do that.
so
I do that now. Yeah.
College life. Now that you're full time, I guess you can change it up a bit, man.
Yeah. So like now I can write down everything and make sure I don't miss anything. So it's a little bit easier to not get that worried. But I guess it used to be.
Yeah. So I mean, it's. I guess it sort of leads into a question that I may have. Like, what's your video process? Like, do you shoot B-roll first? Do you use a device for a while? I mean, like, what? So kind of a quick like process of one of your reviews.
Yeah, okay, so a review, it's using the device, it's getting to know it, and I have a Google Keep document open, like on my computer or on my phone, where if I figure something out, oh, that's kind of weird that it did that, I'll just write it down. I just have it in the back pocket, just so I can always have that. And then after a while, I've decided, okay, now I've gotten to know the device well enough, time to review it. I put together all of my thoughts about it, try to put it in some sort of legible order, not really a script, but I put it in an order where I can flow from point to point. And then I get all of my footage of all of the things in my document. So that helps me at least get everything together. Then once I have all the footage, I do all of the audio and then all the editing.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah.
So just talking about reviews, I know you currently just released your Moto G video, and TechSmash on Twitter has asked, how have you been enjoying the Moto G, and are you still using it as your daily driver at the minute, or is that you done with it for the moment?
Yeah, so I moved my SIM card back to, I do this way too often, but I moved it back to the Galaxy S6 Edge for this weekend, and my OnePlus 2 like retail unit comes in tomorrow, so I think I'm going to move it to that. So I guess I kind of just move between phones often, but when I was using it, I was really impressed with the Moto G, and I know that there's a couple other phones that people really like to talk about for like that under $300 price point, and they're all also really good, but I'm a fan of the Moto G software experience. The battery blew me away, so it was a really nice phone.
Nice.
Yeah, so I really love. So carry on, Kevin.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So when you switch your SIM card between so many phones, what's the first 3 applications besides the normal apps and whatever that you install? Like I gotta have this. Like what are those 3 apps?
First thing I gotta have, and I'm doing a Periscope about this tomorrow because I'm gonna do an unboxing and setup of the OnePlus 2. I always do Dropbox, Pocket, and Phoenix.
Nice.
So Dropbox when I want to get like screenshots of things or when I grab some wallpapers and set some stuff up like that. Pocket because I might like be browsing like on, I don't know, Reddit or Twitter or something and find something I want to keep, drop it in Pocket. And then Phoenix is my Twitter app. I think I have Phoenix on about 25 phones.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, that is cool, man. So just talking about the Moto G for a minute, I know it's a pretty big deal, obviously the fact that Moto Maker has came to the Moto G this year. A lot of people are really loving it. Battery life wise, what do you think about the other Moto devices that are coming up, the 2 variants of the Moto X?
Yeah, it's promising, but at the same time, those are now Quad HD phones, so I don't think they're gonna be amazing like the Moto G was. I'd love to say like, oh yeah, Moto G was great, so the rest of them are gonna be great too, but I'm not sure. The Moto X style was that Quad HD 5.7-inch screen. That's a big, bright, high-resolution screen.
Yeah.
So as far as battery life goes, we've yet to see. But if it's anything like the Moto G, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
And you guys don't get the Play version, do you? The one with the bigger battery?
We get the Pure. I guess if we want the Play, we can import it. I don't know if Motorola. I guess Motorola's going to sell it on their site, but I don't know if anyone's going to buy it. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try it. I kind of want to try it out just for the bigger battery, just because I was so impressed with the G, just to see how it goes, really.
Yeah, I actually heard the Play is going to be rebranded as the Droid Turbo, but I hear a lot of rumors I don't believe half the time, so I don't know. I just want to throw it out there. We'll see. You know, what do you like? So, what is your opinion on Quad HD on phones, and you know, what do you think about that?
All right, so this is kind of a polarizing thing. There's always a crowd that's like, yes, more pixels, please, yes, and people tend to think that I belong to that crowd, which I usually do. It was funny when I got the OnePlus 2, when OnePlus sent it to me early. They didn't tell me anything about it. They didn't tell me the resolution of the camera. They didn't tell me anything. They just sent it to me. And I was trying to guess if it was a 1080p display or a Quad HD display. And I guessed that it was a Quad HD display just by looking at it, just by setting my wallpaper and just looking at it. It's IPS, so I put it next to an OLED display. I was like, it looks pretty good. I guess it's Quad HD. Then I take a screenshot and look at it, and it's 1080p. And after that, I was like, all right, I guess it doesn't matter. If I can't tell the difference, it's more important to have a good screen technology than it is to have Quad HD versus 1080p. So this screen right here on the Galaxy S6 is the best screen on any phone. It happens to be Quad HD, but it's also an incredibly bright AMOLED panel with some dope curves on the edges, which is kind of cool too. But like, it's great because it's really bright, color accurate, saturated, beautiful, vivid, AMOLED, and all these other things. Quad HD is also kind of a bonus. So I guess long answer to that question is all that, but short answer is I fall into the if it looks good, then it is good camp.
Yeah. Definitely the iPhone 6 Plus did that to me. You know, I used that phone for about a month, and I was like, man, this is a good-looking screen. I don't care if it's not Quad HD. Like what does that matter? Like, YouTube looks fine, everything else looks fine. So it's kind of how I feel too.
Although the one thing I do have to say is watching videos on a Quad HD screen definitely looks better when it's a Quad HD video. I have noticed that.
Yeah. So talking about high resolutions, you've obviously told everybody that your new camera's getting in soon, and Armando has asked, now that you're getting your new camera, what will you be editing with? Are you going to start editing on the Mac Pro, or are you going to use the main gear beast?
Actually, okay, so hard to answer that. I've been editing this like 6K footage on the Mac Pro, and it's been fine. I have the 8-core. I'm working with main gear on a more workstation-based build. This behind me, I don't know if you can see it right here, the one I did the first video on, and the second one is coming, is more of a gaming-based build, honestly. It's got the GTX 980s, and it's overclocked, but it's still a little bit more gaming-based. This build that we're working on now is, you know, workstation cards, optimized to have lots of CUDA cores and a fast processing speed, more cores. It's going to be more workstation based, and I think that's what I'm going to end up editing on. But for now, for the time being, I'm going to see if the Mac Pro can not choke on 8K video. We'll see.
That's gonna be crazy, man. I'm excited. I know you're excited to check it out. I mean, you don't tweet about your gear that much, but you couldn't help to tweet about your weapon being ready. So you're like, I can't do it, but no, dude.
You're toy, man. I've seen that you're going to maybe use the Sony. Obviously you're going through the transition of sending your old camera back and waiting on the new one. Are you going to maybe do a video on that while it's away?
Maybe. I don't know. So I got the email like the other day where it's I have to send it in. I have the box right here. I have to send it in, and once they receive it, it'll be 3 to 5 business days before they send the weapon, because they have to do an inspection, make sure my camera's still in a good enough shape to get that trade-in value. But so I have to be without any camera. And last time I did this, I think I rented an Epic Dragon from like Borrow Lenses, but they're out of stock of it. So I'm going to be cameraless for a couple of days. So I'm probably going to end up doing a video. I mean, I have other cameras. I have a C100. It's 1080p, but it's probably good enough.
Yeah.
And then I have the RX 100, so I might end up doing a video with that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What just out of interest, what did it do with all the cameras that are sent back? Did they resell them on as used products, or?
I think so. Yeah, they have. I mean, they have a whole bunch of different ways to get on like they have like a ladder of products where if you buy, let's say, a Red Scarlet, then you send back in the Red Scarlet to get your credit back towards an upgrade. So upgrades get a priority over new buyers into the system.
Oh, nice.
And then they do sell like not. I don't think they call it certified pre-owned. I think they call it battle tested. They use all these weird weird
Marketing,
words.
baby. Marketing,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, Red, they can get away with that, but yeah, that's kind of the way it works. Is you get an upgrade discount.
Cool, man. So how did you get into cinematography? Because your first couple reviews, obviously, you were in front of a webcam with some sweet glasses on, and so like, how did that transition happen? You know?
Yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to YouTubers who were doing this before me. And then just the fact that, I mean, I watched so much tech on YouTube, I kind of wanted to find a way to do something different. And I've always kind of been obsessed with cameras anyway. But when I first got the Sanyo Zacti CG10, that little handheld camera, it happened to have a really nice autofocus and a really crisp macro mode. And I kind of got like obsessed with that, like getting a really close up of something with a blurred background. That was like the first probably like little drop of poison in my system that made me want to do that all the time. Then I got the Canon T2i, and that's like, I guess I got that because I'm watching YouTubers like, okay, a throwback, Matt's Macintosh. He did a lot of videos right when I was starting up. John Quach, who did videos for the Techno Buffalo channel for a while, he did a lot of videos like that. And John TLD, he was doing a lot of videos like that. I was watching all these really great cinematic videos that had effects like that, this sharp in focus versus blurry out of focus. And that's the kind of the seeds that were planted where I started to just get carried away with like, what other things can I do with that? Can I get the camera moving? Can I get the subject moving? Rack focus, all those other types of fun things.
Nice. This is kind of the midpoint of the show, and I do have to mention that this video is powered by slickwraps.com. And also, if you go down below to the links, you can check out Slick Wraps online. And Slick Wraps did have a question. Very simple question. Do you like Chipotle or Qdoba?
Qdoba. Final answer.
Wow, that was a quick answer. What do you get at Qdoba? Like, what's the MKBHD approved Qdoba?
Honestly,
style?
the staple right now is just a bowl with chicken and like the burrito, whatever else is in a burrito, and guacamole, obviously, and queso. See, the reason I would say Qdoba is, number one, they have queso, and number two, the Qdoba here in Hoboken is one block closer to me than the Chipotle here in Hoboken.
Oh.
So when I go walk to get food, I'm not walking past Qdoba to get Chipotle. It's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of well, let's not talk about Qdoba too much. They're not sponsoring the show, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Qdoba and all the queso sauces and stuff. Are you going like low carb because you're going the burrito bowl, not the actual burrito?
I'm going high carb. I get the chips on the side, but I don't know for some reason I don't like the burrito.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Hey, man, I saw you post a screenshot of you playing NBA 2K and like whooping up on your roommate. So if you ever want some real competition, you can add me on PS4, and we could probably Twitch it and make it an event. I think it would be pretty fun. So
yeah, I need that.
Do you play Rocket League on PS4?
No, I mean honestly, I only play NBA 2K like my career, and then I play games against other people, and then on PS4, what is the other? It's Need for Speed, but I forgot what it's called. Need for Speed something.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
Yeah, and then I play Forza on the Xbox, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool, man. What's on your NBA 2K My Player? Do you make yourself like your exact stats, or do you give yourself like 3 inches of height?
2K14. Okay, here's the funny thing. 2K14, I was a small forward. I was like a bigger guy. I gave myself height and athleticism, all that fun stuff. 2K15, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a point guard. I'm gonna be myself. I made a 6'3" player. You set the height and weight, it doesn't go all the way to my weight. So I had to add some pounds. I was 6'3", 170, but I'm kind of killing it. So if I get to 170, then I can clearly dominate the NBA.
Clearly, all you have to do is take some jump shots in practice, and then you're the man. So
exactly.
Yeah, man. So go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
That's all right, man. Carry on. I was just saying it could be a career change, man. Hitting the NBA. Give up YouTube, man.
Should.
Exactly, man. So we have a question on Twitter that came. That was actually a pretty good question. It's from JCVP11. He wants to know, do you feel that mobile technology is going to progress in 2 years, like how it's been doing in the last year so far?
Yeah, I mean Moore's law. It's held true. I guess if for those unfamiliar, it's just that technology it exponentially increases every year or every whatever time period you want to use. So if you look back 10 years versus looking back 20 years, the improvement is huge in the last 10 years compared to the last 20. So in the next 2 years, it's going to move forward, whether we think it is or not.
Yeah.
I think my perfect example, or not perfect example, but one example I noted recently was Tesla's new cars, just because of the battery density in the car. And smartphones kind of look the same way, but their highest, kilowatt hour battery pack was an 80 kilowatt hour, then an 85, and now this year there's a 90, and I bet in 2 years it's going to be a 110. Like it just keeps going because we keep making advances. And it's not something we can take for granted. Like there's people working really hard to make that happen. But yeah, I think mobile tech, we're gonna see, a 4K screen in a phone. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you see happening besides a 4K screen? That's kind of on the horizon. Like what new thing in mobile is gonna knock our socks off? If you want to be aggressive and just guess something.
Well, let's see. There's the typical numbers game we play is with battery size, camera megapixel count, and display resolution. So those things, let me say, in 2 years we're going to have a phone with a 4K screen, a 3600 milliamp hour battery at least, and a 28 megapixel camera at least. And the numbers don't even say that much, but that's just the way tech is moving forward. And I don't know what else. Screens and phones. There's the processing power. We might see a 16-core phone with 4 or 8 gigs of RAM. I don't know. It's gonna be nuts.
That is crazy. I just want. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, the last thing is because phones these days, the specs. If we look at our computers, like when I started my computer, I had 4 gigs of RAM in the computer I started making videos on, and now this OnePlus 2 has 4 gigs of RAM. And the screen on that laptop, I want to say, has the same resolution as my phone now. So.
Yeah, it's
getting crazy, man. I would just love to see flagship devices coming out with some better battery technology, so we can all just get through a full day or two without any trouble.
Yeah.
That's definitely where it's at.
Yeah, consumers don't care if the phone's a little bit thicker. It drives me nuts that these companies are trying to make the thinnest phones possible. And we're throwing cases on them anyways. And what's good as a phone super thin if you have a freaking portable battery charger plugged into it anyways all day? So I don't know. That bothers me with all my heart. The Galaxy S6 really, really hurt my feelings, because it was such a good phone, but the battery is really bad at it, man. And I sold it because I couldn't physically get through a day with it. So I don't know.
So we got another good question from Twitter, from JA8. He asks if you could have one feature that worked cross-platform, again, iOS, Android, Windows, what would it be?
If I could have
one feature that worked cross-platform between all the OSs.
I might be cheating, but I'm gonna go with image processing. If I could have, you look at the iPhone's camera. And classic numbers game, it's only 8 megapixels, it's not going to be as good. But it's killing it in low light. It's killing it with the video stabilization. If I could take Apple's image processing chip and just put it in an Android phone and have it work perfectly, that would be awesome.
Yeah, man. Apple definitely kill it in the light. And Kevin always mentions this, companies can bring out cameras, big cameras, loads of megapixels, but everybody can make software to go along with it. And that seems to be the kind of problem with all the different phones these days. But Apple is definitely killing it in that front.
Yeah, definitely Motorola. I'm excited about the Moto X Pure. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think the camera's going to be good. They haven't proved it yet that they can make a good camera, especially if they're using Google's image processing. So that's something I'm super worried about. I don't know about you, but do you share that with me?
Yeah, that's one of those cameras that's in a I'll believe it when I see it category, because everything is pointing towards like this is going to be the best Motorola camera ever, which isn't saying much, but it's apparently being compared to like the likes of the Galaxy S6 and stuff like that. So I played with it at the event. I wasn't impressed. I'll try again when I get the phone in person, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of sample shots for me to say SOM, same old Motorola, in my opinion. I mean, super grainy low light shots. I mean, people take sample shots outside in good light. Well, I mean, anything can take a good picture outside in good light. I mean, even my MacBook Pro webcam can take a good picture outside in good light. I don't know, man. Like, I just think there needs to be a bigger emphasis going forward on cameras, because a lot of people, when they buy a device, they look at apps, they look at camera, and that's really all they care about. The average consumer. I mean, they see the phone, they like how it looks, and they take a picture with it. They want to look good in their pictures, and I totally get it. So I don't know. Now, do you walk around with your RX 100 in your pocket, or do you still have your S6 because it takes just great pictures?
Yeah, part of the reason I keep using the S6 is because I can just take great pictures and video on that, so I don't have to bring anything nicer. I do take the RX 100 out when I know I'm going to be taking photos and videos of things, but I don't carry it everywhere or anything. But I do usually have my SIM and the phone I'm most comfortable with taking photos on.
Sweet. Cool. So just since we're on the category of the S6 and S6 Edge, the battery life we know isn't the best. I'm not really sure about his name, but he's asking which smartphone has the best battery life right now.
Right now, my crown is gonna go to. I guess I'll give two crowns. The OnePlus One and the Moto G have lasted longer than any other smartphones I've ever used. OnePlus One gave me probably 6 hours and change of screen on time on a regular basis. Moto G keeps on giving me 6 hours plus of screen on time. And then after that, it drops off pretty quick. I know you're using the Droid Turbo, so I haven't used that in a while. I can't even remember if that was up on my list. I'm guessing about 4 hours for me.
Yeah.
But after that, it drops off hard.
Yeah. The one I actually still use the OnePlus One as a daily driver, just purely for the battery life. I mean, it's an awesome device. But the Moto G, definitely, it's pretty awesome. So carry on.
I was gonna say that we were kind of talking off air about the Moto G, and I mean, I just think the Moto G is a great example of like just a bare bones phone that just does the job correctly without any extra bells and whistles. It's just a solid phone, especially for it being, so cheap, I guess, compared to other phones. And I just think that's a testament, number one, that Motorola knows how to make a good phone, and number two, it really shows that this year, as far as flagship, has kind of been a disappointment. I mean, for me, the S6 steam ran out really fast, and the OnePlus 2, not OnePlus 2, sorry, the M9, really it took a lot of flack. I think a lot of flack was unfair, but it took a lot of flack nonetheless, and HTC is not doing too well right now. So, like, what's your take on the 2015 so far when it comes to Android and the mobile landscape? Like, what are you seeing?
Well, on the Moto G, I feel like that phone did so well because a lot of the bells and whistles that we see on other smartphones are really not that great. So when Motorola puts together a smartphone and they're trying to make it cheap, they have to scrap all those bells and whistles. But we didn't really care that much about the bells and whistles. Maybe the lack of a fingerprint reader matters. Maybe the lack of NFC is a big deal to some people. But if you cut all the bells and whistles from things like the Galaxy S6 or the One M9, at the end of the day, you end up with still a pretty great phone. In terms of like the huge smartphone landscape, I guess this is a little bit more of a disappointing year. HTC obviously getting a little bit of flack because they kind of re-released the same phone again. But I think a lot of us forget about like the great stuff that's come out this year. Like even like late last year and early this year. I really like the Note 4, first of all, so that's last year, but it's still a great phone, and a lot of people don't use that anymore or talk about it anymore, but it's still really good. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually really liking the OnePlus 2. Like I'm using a pre-release piece of hardware with no back. I can't even like put a SIM card in it, but I keep using it because it's so good. So that phone is going to be awesome for a lot of people, I think. And then we get all these budget phones that are coming out that are proving that you don't have to have lots of expensive bells and whistles or Quad HD displays to be a great phone. So I'm not that mad.
So just going on from that, there's people asking, actually a lot of people asking, due to the fact that we're getting loads of these flagship colours, all these kind of things coming out at awesome prices, what do you think the future for Apple is in terms of, obviously their prices are not going down any?
Yeah, I think my little curious bit that's nagging me is what are they going to do about the iPhone 5C? Is there going to be an iPhone 6C or a 6SC? Like, are they going to try that again?
Yeah.
They really could try that again. People will still buy an iPhone 5S if you rebrand it as something else. Like, that's been proven. So I feel like they could give it a shot. I don't know. The new iPhones, they focus on the build and they focus on a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter, and that's classic Apple. But I just keep wondering about that cheaper iPhone if they're going to try that again.
Most definitely. I mean, a lot of these companies like Huawei is cleaning up in Asia right now. So I want to see what Apple's response to that, if they can, seize that market completely. So I mean, it's just I don't know. I think it's an interesting time in technology, especially here stateside. We are starting to see a lot more unlocked phones, and a lot more consumers are becoming smarter. That you can be out of a contract and still have a solid phone for a decent price. So I'm super excited about that. And I know you probably heard the news about Verizon getting rid of sort of contracts and going sort of the T-Mobile route. It's like what's your take on carriers right now? That's especially with this news breaking.
Yeah, here's the thing. Pretty much no one knows what the hell their carrier is doing. Like 98% of people just pay for it and just take my money and give me service. Like if I can get more, people don't really care about counting minutes. Most people don't count data. Like most people don't go over their data, which is why they can get away with charging stupid amounts of money for us who like more data. So the couple of percent of us who are into buying phones off contract and moving our SIM card back and forth and making sure we get as much data as possible, we're in a minority that really cares about this stuff and the carriers can't get away with charging us like ridiculous amounts. But at the end of the day, that other 98%, they're just going to they tend not to change their phone plan. They only upgrade every 2 years. Yeah. And in that case, they're just buying the new iPhone usually. So they don't pay that much attention to what the carriers are doing. So I think it's cool that Verizon's trying to offer something new and try to be competitive. T-Mobile's making waves. They're doing tons of crazy crap all the time. So good for them. I'm excited as one of those 2% who's like interested in that stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, in the United States anyway, a lot of people aren't even paying attention.
Yeah. In the UK, it's like so different. You guys pay so much money for contracts and stuff out there, especially upfront money. I mean, in the UK, most of the new devices that come out, most of the time we don't even have to pay a premium upfront. So I don't know why you guys get hit so hard, but as you said, it's pretty bad in that way. So just moving on, I mean, the chat's going wild about smartwatches. I know we're all expecting the new Moto 360 at one point, but what do you think the future is for smartwatches in general? What do you think we're going to see? Anything good?
Yeah, smartwatches kind of did one of these and then one of these. So I don't know if that was backwards, but like they exploded onto the scene, and we all got this new Android Wear stuff, and the Apple Watch and watchOS 2 and the new version of Android Wear. It all accelerated really quickly, and now we kind of just see this sputtering out where we get a little bit of different designs once in a while, but people aren't really talking about smartwatches the same way they are about like, ooh, this new budget smartphone with certain specs. I kind of see a lot of these smartwatches as being almost the same internally, but with different designs. So design is cool. You have to focus on design. It's a piece of jewelry, basically. If you do design well and it works with people's phones, they'll probably enjoy it and buy it. But I wear a smartwatch sometimes. I use it for fitness once in a while, but I don't really look for that much else in a smartwatch. So I was using the original Moto 360 up until now, basically. I keep using that.
Yeah. I think it's sort of time to wind down. We kind of came rapid fire with you with questions, man. So
sorry about that.
So you can sort of turn off MKBHD mode, and let's talk to Marques now. And I'm going to ask some questions about you. sort of the whole BS talk, I guess. Because I mean, I know there's always two sides of someone. There's someone, the person on YouTube, the person asking questions, family tech support, and then it's you. You know what I mean? So I'm more interested in Marques the person. So like, are you MKBHD no matter where you go? Like on your like who basically who in your life keeps you centered to say, hey, you're just Marques to me. You're not MKBHD YouTube superstar.
Probably my teammates. Any Ultimate team I play on, like we're just a team. We're working together for the same goal. We work out together. We get up early. We suffer through tournaments and workouts all the time. So that's probably the best place to stay centered is my best friends and my teammates.
Good.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, you know, because because you come off just from everything I've seen you on Periscope, YouTube, and Twitter, you come off like a real humble dude, like from humble beginnings and just like real self, just cool, even keel, like not much get you riled up. So I always want to know because there has to be some foundation keeping you grounded. Because you see these sports athletes who, at the age of 18, are making tons of money, whatever, and they are like some straight jerks. You see them on TMZ punching cameramen or whatever. So,
do you find it hard, like when you go to events? Do you feel that people expect a lot from you because of obviously your YouTube status and stuff? Like a lot of people expect you to answer questions and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, not really. I guess I just kind of go do my thing. Like if I'm at an event and I'm trying to make a video, then everyone else there is doing their job too. So we're just kind of doing our stuff. I guess outside of like talking to a camera, I don't talk much. I'm just kind of just going about my business. Like I said, I play Ultimate all the time, so that's like my other life, I guess. So yeah, I guess it's not a huge deal. I usually just go do our thing, and if we happen to have time to chat or whatever, then that's cool too.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I know you probably get tons of tweets about this. So like when I get a tweet, I assume you're getting 30 of the same tweets. So I get a couple of these tweets. So I know you're getting 60 of these. Like young YouTubers, like people just starting off, just getting a camera for Christmas or for their birthday. What can you tell them as far as like starting off YouTube, how to make videos that are high quality, how to be noticed, how to be seen? Like what advice can you give someone like that?
Yeah, so I guess as far as the making good videos part, it's gotten easier and easier actually. If you can shoot a video on your smartphone that looks better than my first 2 years of videos today, then you should do that. And then the harder part, I guess, because the opposite has happened since then, is getting videos seen, getting videos like noticed, because the level of content, the amount of content about the same stuff on YouTube now is way higher than back when we started. I guess the only advice for that is just basically what I did is just keep making videos that you would want to watch, keep making videos that you would want to see. If you're going to go subscribe to a channel, what videos would you want to see popping out of in that subscription box every week? And just go out and keep making that. And eventually people who want to see that will find it. It might take a while, it might seem slow. The rate of growth of the people you're watching might seem really high because you're just getting started. It took me, I don't know, 100 videos to get 78 subscribers over the course of like a year. So obviously it's not going to happen instantly, and you kind of have to just deal with that.
Yeah.
So just talking about YouTube, I'm interested to know if you could rate YouTubers and your personal top 3 people that you like watching their videos. Who's your favourite YouTubers out there?
Oh man, there's so many.
I hope I'm not putting you on the spot.
No, there's a lot. I watch a lot of tech, but then I also watch a lot of I watch a couple car. I don't know if it's a car blog, but car channels, and I just kind of watch a lot of sports stuff. So like the NBA. This is gonna sound dumb, but the NBA channel, like there's probably literally like a room of editors for that channel because it's just a company just pumping out videos all the time. So I like to imagine like sitting in that room and just looking around and seeing all these videos being made. I don't know. So Casey Neistat's vlogs recently have been awesome. He's doing a vlog every single day. I don't know how long he's going to do it, but every day there's a new video with some new style or some new action or whatever he's doing. So that's a channel to watch. Every time a new TLD video comes out, I have to watch it because he's kind of the same like focus on quality, but also like vary the style. You might try new things in a new video you've never done before in the next video. So if I watch one of John's videos, then there's going to be something new, probably something fun to check out. So watch those. And I kind of have to give a shout out to my friends, I guess, but like there's about 70 YouTube channels that I can just spit out right now, making tech videos about awesome stuff that we're all interested in. So
sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool. I agree on the Casey Neistat front, man. He's one of my favourite YouTubers of all time.
Yeah.
I love watching Casey's vlogs every day. He really puts a load of effort. And imagine like how much time is spent making daily vlogs. I mean, that must be a long day, filming all day and editing all night. It must be a crazy lifestyle.
Yeah, I guess the total number of hours into that is probably huge.
Yeah. I have mad respect for daily vloggers. I just picked up the RX 100 because I'm going on vacation a little bit, so I want to have like a small camera with me that I can take sweet video with. And I've been trying to vlog a little bit and like kind of make a daily vlog, and I'm like, this is tough. I don't do enough stuff to have a good daily vlog. Like I felt weird like walking in the grocery store with my camera like, hey guys, I'm buying milk and butter right now. I mean, it's just I don't know what to talk about. But
Dude, I said the same thing. Like people asking like, dude, you should do a vlog channel, and I'm like, it would just be me editing all like.
Exactly, man. Yeah, and this I guess this kind of leads up to a great question. Like, what's a misconception about you that people assume about you just from seeing your videos? Here's your chance to clear the air.
Honestly, probably that like my life is crazy, exciting. Like obviously, it's fun that we get to play with these new pieces of tech and gadgets. That's an awesome thing that you can never really turn away from. But I go to class. I went to class every day. I practice every other morning. I have tournaments every weekends. I'm a pretty normal person that happens to be doing the videos too. And I think once you realize that, like if you look around and see all these other YouTubers, they're also like just people like us doing videos because we decided we wanted to make videos. Like it's not that different. So if you think I'm like going around like, I don't know, to strip clubs and just throwing, it's not happening.
Throwing dollar bills, man.
Man, I think that'll be a good, like a funny video, like YouTube misconceptions. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Like opening the door to your house or whatever, and just all this tech gear and S6s and Mac Pros fall on your face, and you're swimming in technology. So I don't know, man. That was good, man. That was a really good question, man. I've had a lot of fun. I think this is, we're just at the hour mark, so I think it's time for us to sort of wind down here and do our parting shots. Now, Marques, the way our parting shots work, we give you another 30 seconds to say whatever you want, not related to technology, not related to your YouTube channel, just whatever you want, and the floor is yours. You got 30 seconds.
Man, it has to not be related?
Yeah, if you want, we try to make it fun. Part of the BS segment of our show. So.
Okay. Let's go with don't knock something until you've tried it. So that goes for YouTube. I know a lot of people like to talk about like, oh, I could make these YouTube videos and be killing it. So do it if it's so easy. Two, if you're watching Ultimate Frisbee and thinking that's not a sport, I could do that. Try it. You might be surprised. I know a lot of people play other sports, look at Ultimate and say, well, dude, I play a real sport. Try it. And I don't know, find your intrinsic motivation and just kill it. Like nothing's gonna hold you back from killing it. So.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Go ahead,
Ryan. 30 seconds, man. It's just the usual. I would just like to thank you, Marques, for taking the time out your busy schedule. I know you've just come off from a busy day and coming on here, so I appreciate it a lot. I know everybody's been asking for you to be on the show for some time. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Obviously, thanks to Kevin for being on the show with me as always.
Yeah.
And keep it real, man. Be kind to each other.
Yeah,
So-
thanks for hosting.
It's actually perfect right now. It is 3:01 p.m. So rest in peace to 3:01 on YouTube. You lived a good life. I just recently joined the 3:01 Club like 2 months ago. So now seeing the real-time counter, I don't know. It's funny how something's so small. They fixed a bug.
Dude, I'm still not over it.
I know it's
so
like
weird.
it's like a good friend. Like a good friend died, you know. So you know, I feel sad about 301 being gone, but you know, it's good to have real-time counters so you can really see like the true views, I guess. But it's gonna take a lot of time to adjust, especially people who've never felt the 301 in their life. So rest in peace, 301. I pour out some liquor for you, little homie. And that's it, guys. Looks like you're drinking piss.
Side brew, man.
All right, go ahead and wrap it up. In your American accent, Ryan, go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, be kind to each other. Love y'all. Peace out.
Peace.